All right, so as awaited, first I had the shipping taking like literally a month and a half, but that's something they alerted on the website, so that's a non-issue. My computer was messed up for the past 2 weeks. No, that's all sorted. I can finally review the shape shift from SoSpacer that I don't have in frame. Anyway, big issue immediately, not with the product itself, but with mice with holes in them. They do not adhere at all. With the ULX, you could use the ULX grips, the shitty ones that come with them. I just stuck fucking geckos on it, and it worked. It hasn't left since. With the holes, they literally just slide off constantly, and it's completely obnoxious. Not really anything that I think SoSpacer can do themselves as a product, because that is again an issue with the surface, and stickers sticking to holes doesn't work. If you wanted to take your mouse apart and put something on the inside for the backside, if you knew exactly where you were going to place it, that would also work. However, I just don't really recommend on a whole mouse unless you want to put a piece of tape or something underneath it. Regardless, for shape, it definitely made this better for claw and fingertip, for large hands on the small ULX. I had tried it on the mouse mod that I did for the GPRO, and it just slide off. Though it was a lot of improvement on the pinky part, because it's not wide enough for my hand. But outside of that, yeah, I feel like they need to do like memory foam or something like that, because a lot of the shapes aren't entirely perfect for most people. Like this little hump here, it's not really far enough for my pinky, and that's what my intended use was when purchasing, and it just doesn't fit that use case. And then they have like other little bits. I cut everything out first just before using it, just to see which one would actually fit. There's extra adhesives. You can even use one of these in place of this grip if you have a whole mouse, I guess, for space. Wouldn't really recommend it because I'd be wasting them, and those aren't up for sale yet. Uh, but yeah, and now for the mini review for the wow, I can't speak English. Now for the mini review for the GPRO mouse mod from, well, I don't actually know who made this print. The person who printed it for me did not come up with the design at all. I will outright guarantee that. I bought it from some dude in Germany on Etsy. I had reduced the GPRO to 29 grams before I put skates and this little fucking on-off switch back onto it. I added about a gram and a half, so it's a 31 and a half or 30 and a half gram mouse at this point. So definitely a good upgrade for the G Pro. It was kind of annoying putting together. There's very little direction, but I, didn't really need that. But for like regular people who never disassembled mice or built anything like that, it's, I guess, a fun hour-long chore for you. It took me about 3.5 minutes, but I can see for most people how this would not be something you'd want to do yourself, just because of the taking apart and assembly stuff. Getting the side clicks to line up was an actual nightmare. That's what took 90% of the time. I had to actually take it apart twice and readjust it for the back click. But yeah, SoSpacer, I do recommend them for very specific people who need a slightly wider mouse or need somewhere to place their pinky. I do also recommend they use a different material, something that's more form fitting or something that can adjust to form, like memory foam. I know it would probably be slightly heavier, but kind of want to be able to fit everyone's needs when making something niche, as opposed to something that's just gonna cover even more niche part of the people that are in that niche. Because that's what I feel is with the shapes that we have here. This is only for very specific hand sizes and hand grips, and it's not for everyone, but still recommend it. And with the G Pro mod, if you have a fucking G Pro, just actually, I recommend modding it because Logitech is not reducing that weight below 50 anytime soon. They just don't care anymore. Uh, TLDR, they're like $16 if you're in Canada. I think it's like 25 for Americans. I think that's what I paid to get it shipped here. Uh, so pretty expensive in all honesty for what it is. Probably will go down. The price was mostly because of the shipping. But when they go on like lethal gaming gear and stuff like that, I can 100% even recommend them just for testing for people because then the shipping would be cheaper at like $15-$16 acceptable even for trial. But with the shipping directly from SoSpacer, they're kind of egregious. It's like a quarter of the price of a mouse for a fucking grip. That's insane to me. But still recommend it for the people that it fits for. Again, I do think there needs to be an overhaul in the design choices. It's the shapes kind of feel like they had like three guys in their room and then they're like, yeah, these fit us. And then they're like, oh, this will work for everyone. That's just not the case. Uh, 7 out of 10, fucking 10 out of 10. I actually haven't used my ULX in a month. So, uh, yeah, give it a go.